Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Unscripted with Amy Kruzik. And
David Ellis.
yes, we're back again. Okay, so today's topic I came up with because sometimes when I listen to podcasts, I listen to a lot of different podcasts, and I get little things like, oh, that's interesting. It was just a little thing that this person said, and it was like, oh my God, I'm going to look into that. So calling a spade a spade. And she said it as if, I know I'm not perfect, but I think it's important to call a spade a spade. And I'm like, wow, that's brave to call a spade a spade.
I think this is the show that's going to get us canceled.
Wait a minute,
I,
though.
I somehow think that this is the show that's going to get us canceled because
No,
I have so much to say on this topic.
I know. But wait, let me just say that this is not about harshness to people. It's
Mm-hmm.
about compassionate and being honest and truthful. And
Mm-hmm.
some people don't like that, right? But I think that society has come into this like gentleness. Like there's this thing called gentle parenting. Well, hold on, because you and I probably grew up in, that type of environment of, that made us stronger and more confident. Well, maybe not me, but it just okay, here's my thing. They have these things called safe spaces
Uh-huh.
because they want to, make minimize discomfort. Like we
Mm-hmm.
didn't come here to minimize discomfort, did we?
No. From every spiritual and religious book that has ever been created, it plainly states that you're not here just for you to be comfortable, for
Right.
sure.
So when she said that, I'm like, wow, we need to bring this to the attention again in a different way.
Yeah, in a less confrontational way. Which
Yeah.
reminds me, that fits in line with the meme of the day. We're doing
Yes.
memes of the day today.
Yes. Forgot to say that. Yes. Memes of the day. And at the end, we're going to do social cues.
Okay, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna put this on
Yeah. Let's
the
do a meme.
screen
Oh my God, that one.
from Twonks. I want to credit them. Oh my God, that's funny. When you're going to
Oh
your barber, your hairdresser, please make sure that the picture that you're showing them is the right picture. But
God.
let's say somebody walked up to you with the poodle haircut like this.
Yes. The
What
thing
do
is,
you say to them?
well, wait, is this calling a spade a spade? What are we
No,
doing? No.
she looks ridiculous.
She does look ridiculous. But if she likes it, she likes it. I mean, what are you going to say?
Mhm.
Interesting? I might say that's interesting. I
Yep,
don't know. I don't know. She might
yep.
love it. She doesn't look like it. Look at her face.
I don't
She's
think I don't think she likes it that much. But then, if you walked around looking like a poodle,
yeah.
probably not. All right, guys, let's get
Okay.
into this topic.
Yeah. So, I have my little notes here. I
Hmm.
know it's unscripted, but I have to have some. So let's talk about it. The bridge. Let's talk about the bridge between kindness and truth. Not
Okay,
not endorsement, but like
I,
endorsement for harshness.
I want to take the philosophical approach. Okay,
Okay. All right.
is it better to be kind or is it better to be truthful? This is a question for the audience. You guys can answer in the comments below, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
want engagement. So, is it better to be kind or is it better to be truthful? Because the truth of the matter is, being untruthful is a kind of unkindness.
It is. It is.
And
So,
being truthful sometimes is not kind. The two are not mutually inclusive.
yeah.
So I think what has happened in our society is that we're trying to bridge this great gaping chasm between the kindness and the truthfulness. And this is a problem because the truth of the matter is sometimes, and more often than not, being truthful may not be kind. And it might be necessary though.
It might be necessary. So, you know, because sometimes people they'll be silent and won't say anything too.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that? See, if someone asks you an opinion, or someone says, so when do we call a spade a spade? How about an example? So,
Okay, how about this example? Your Aunt Millie, who is a darling of the family, comes to the Thanksgiving dinner drunk.
yeah, yeah.
She's causing a scene. I don't know what she's doing. She's causing a scene. And somebody has to tell her, Aunt Millie, you're drunk.
Yeah.
Do you tell her or do you not?
And then is it our responsibility? I mean, if she is in your house, I would think that, you could do that. But what if you're at her house? Can you still do that? That's a thing too.
You see all those little thought patterns that runs through your head?
Yeah, that's me.
You see all those little thought patterns that run through your head? It's why society finds itself in this particular situation.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
So true.
Aunt Millie is drunk. Aunt Millie needs to go lie down and have a nap. Somebody needs to tell her, are you going to be that person? Because if you are that person, you become unpopular. And this is
Yeah,
the problem with telling the truth nowadays. The truth is unpopular, but you gotta say it. We have become a society where truth has become the enemy for a lot of people.
yeah,
We live in a highly politicized society. We live in a society where people tend to hold their tongue. And sometimes it's better because apparently there's consequences for truth telling. I want to tell you a few things. You want to know a few examples where there were consequences for truth telling? Socrates, remember him?
Ah,
The earth is round, it ain't flat. Okay? Yeah, they give him hemlock to drink. Uh, Jesus of Nazareth, I'm the Son of God, and that's what I believe in. We all remember what happened to him if you are Christian.
yeah,
Who else? So many other people, figures throughout history told the truth, and there were consequences for them. They became unpopular. And back in the day, if you ain't popular, you're dead, right?
yeah,
And it's coming around the same. Look at how we've
yeah,
come around. So, like, if I say something that I believe to be the case, which is unpopular, which I often do on a daily basis, just so that we're clear, right? Somebody
Mm,
wants to have a consequence to me, and you reach a point in life where you just don't care anymore. You're gonna
yeah,
tell the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
yeah,
So my question to you, Amy,
yeah.
for the people who do not want to tell the truth, the option is to remain silent.
Yeah.
But what the option isn't is to lie.
Mm, yeah. I'm more, yeah, I don't lie. So a simple example would be, I mean, I'm not
Oh,
saying
I
I
know
don't
you
lie.
don't lie, Amy.
No, no, no. But if people, but if people,
Even when it's in your benefit to lie,
I
you can't
mean,
even do it properly.
yes, yes, I do it properly. Um, so like if my sister, this happened actually, and there were two sisters, and one sister was asking, how does this outfit look on me? And I'm like, well, my one sister, but wait a minute, my one other sister said, well, that looks good on you. And I'm like, no, no, that does not look good on you. Look at this. Look at this. This is gapping. This is not appropriate for your age. This is not. So that I'm telling the truth, because that's just, when I see something, I have to say something, and they're asking me for advice. And
Okay.
I tend to be blunt, so I probably need to be a little more not compassionate, soft.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think people see, I like bluntness, like, and I've read where the more open you are, the more open you're and aware you are, the more you're open to receive advice, however it comes. Does that make sense to you?
The truth of the matter is, people have gotten themselves into a position in society where they like being lied to because it's more popular to lie to people than to actually tell them the truth. I think a lot of people who get themselves into this quandary usually think, oh my God, what are the consequences of me being honest?
Yeah.
And if you are in a situation where you have to think, what are the consequences of me being honest? Then that situation is not healthy for you at all. You see, these are the topics that people don't want to even talk about.
Yeah.
See how we're talking about it on the podcast?
Yeah.
Because Amy and I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's look at society right now. There's some things that if you give your opinion, the gender debate, somebody is going to have an issue with you. And they have some punitive measure for you. They're going to cancel you. You're going to do whatever. Right? You may have an issue for, let's bring up a topic that a lot of people don't want to deal with. There's a new movement out there that calls pedophiles. I said the word.
Yes. Yes.
The minor attracted. What does that mean? This is when you start changing words. I have a problem with that. Honestly, a pedophile is a pedophile. Let's just call it that. Okay? All right. So
Minor attracted.
how do you feel about that? Here's the thing. If a grown man looks at a little girl, or a grown man looks at a little boy, or a grown woman looks at a little girl, or a grown woman looks at a little boy, to be fair all around the fence, and chooses to violate that little boy or little girl, is it something that you want to soften?
No.
It's something that you want to say, well, it's just something that happens. If you are calling that individual minor attracted, then that person has an issue, right? The truth of the matter is that that person is unfortunately a monster.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it real. This is the truth. Okay?
Yeah.
Somebody who thinks like that or does stuff like this is a monster. I'm going to say it. This is the truth. Now, I am 100% sure that there are a bunch of people out there right now who's saying, oh, that's not a very progressive way to look at it. These people have a problem, and they could get some help and so on. Okay, that is fine until it happens to somebody that you love.
Yes, exactly.
That is also the truth. And if it happens to somebody that you love and you're like, oh, well, he just had a problem, we should get him some help. If you are that person, I applaud you. You have reached the heights of empathy, and I understand that. I want you to understand something, however. Society was built on empathy, but not always on empathy. Everything that you see around you was built based on people understanding that there were punitive measures for antisocial behavior.
Yeah. I kind of think we lost that way, right? The social graces.
Yeah.
We've lost it. And so I wanted to go into the dangers of silence and enabling, just like you said, enabling a pedophile because you're not saying anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no one challenges a person, their behavior. No one's going to challenge him because it says here, like, they live in an echo chamber.
Yes, people tend to live in an echo chamber. They do not want to expose them. We've said this on the show before.
Yeah,
people don't want to expose themselves to discussion.
Yeah.
If I wanted to have this argument, I would look for the most progressive person. Not that I couldn't care less about who's on the left of the political spectrum on the right. We've said this on several shows before, right? I don't care about either side of the political spectrum, whether you're progressive, whether you're conservative. I do not care. I am on the side of common sense, however. Okay? And so, if you wanted to have that argument, you would bring somebody who believes in progressive ideas. Yes, these people need rehabilitation. They also need removal from society.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay? Because when I grew to be 18 years old, I understood that there are consequences to antisocial behavior, and you choose not to commit crimes. There is no somehow endemic compulsion making somebody pick up a gun and shooting people. And the fact that we're trying to get this idea that mental illness is a cool thing, it's not cool. It's not something that gives you a pass to be able to do whatever you want. So
Yeah, and then
go ahead.
no, doesn't that build up resentment then because you see them getting away with it?
Yes.
Sign of getting away with it. So it builds up this resentment. And
It
then
does.
and that's because you were silent in it, correct? Like you were
It does.
silent, so it builds up resentment. And then now why are you pissed off now? Because you should have said something.
There will come a time where society will reach a boiling point. We already see it happening in the United States, where you have people that are just fed up of people getting away with negative and antisocial behavior. And then you have people that are pushing for more leniency for people with negative antisocial behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And people are becoming fed up with this stuff, okay? Because they grew up with a certain amount of truth in their life and it kept them in check. When you remove those barriers, what happens is that people begin to think that they can do whatever they want. Some people are well-meaning, okay? So if they said, let's take another social example, that the prison systems need to be reformed.
Yeah.
Okay? Because they're more about punishment than they're about rehabilitation. Well, that's true. I believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And take it from somebody who has counseled people that have actually been in prison. It's more about the punishment than it is about rehabilitating, because people come from prison and there's recidivism, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not rehabilitated, right? The recidivist construct is a real problem in society because they come out worse than they went in. So
Yeah.
I believe in that. What I do not believe in is leniency when somebody commits a crime and has a record and there is a repeat offender and that person continues to commit crimes, which is what is happening in certain places in the world right now, right? Not just the United States, it's everywhere. Okay. I believe that society needs to be protected from certain people. And I'll tell you why. Because the people who are behaving themselves, who are doing what they're supposed to do, should not fall victim to people who feel that they can do whatever they want because they're going to receive leniency. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe that. Well, okay. So what about even this little thing feels like call a spade a spade. What about microaggression?
Oh, God. Okay.
I mean, this happens every day. This happens every day.
Yes, for those of you who don't know what a microaggression is, it's when you can't be aggressive to somebody outwardly because it's unpopular. However, you do little things to make that person feel uncomfortable or not welcome or whatever else. So it may be a facial expression. It may be just walking in front of them to block them from being able to receive something or whatever the case may be. These are microaggression. It may be just a simple facial expression. And for myself, I am a connoisseur of microaggressions. It's the disapproving look that you give them. And you know you're doing it. And a lot of people do that, like a microaggression. Let me tell you something, Amy. The day let me give you all this joke. So I got my students to watch a film called The Purge.
Oh.
For those of you who have never watched the movie, The Purge is about a society, a dystopian society, which suspends the laws of the land for one day to let people get their aggression out. Okay, it's called The Purge for that reason. What happens is that everything, including capital murder, is allowed on one day. In our society of microaggressions, what do you think would happen if you suspend the laws of the land for one day? People would hunt people. I am telling you that, just for on the concept of microaggression. Now, a microaggression, when they come a lot, when people receive them a lot, it makes them aggressive inside. They're angry, and one day you're gonna make the mistake of telling the wrong person the wrong thing.
Yes. Yes.
I'll give you an
And
example. Like
yeah.
Karens have a lot of microaggression.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. I went to a martial arts tournament recently. Okay, it's in the town where I live. When you give somebody any kind of little authority, there was a lady there who is tasked with managing the floor. Okay, so one of the people from martial arts team asked me to go deliver a message to somebody who's on the floor. I went to deliver the message, and then I'm leaving the floor. So I'm leaving the floor, and the lady comes up to me, excuse me, so you're not supposed to be here. I'm like, I'm just leaving.
Yeah.
All right. All right. But then she gives me this smirk at the end of it, and I'm like, oh my God, pray for the purge. Pray for the purge. And I'm like, no, seriously, I'm like, pray for the purge. Please pray for the purge. Listen to me. When you do stupid stuff like that because you have some issue inside of yourself, in this lady's case, it could be anything from racism. It could be she doesn't like men. It could be she doesn't like big men. She's threatened by them or whatever. But this little bit of power that she has, she feels the need. She feels the need to do this. And then I'm like, that's exceedingly funny, first of all. And pray for the purge, second of all. Because in a situation like that, when you removed, the law is an artificial thing. The law keeps people in check. When you remove the law, you will notice that people become suddenly very polite all of a sudden. When you remove the law, people become very, very polite because you have no idea what somebody's going to do to you if you give them microaggressions. Amy, you've had microaggressions in your life, haven't you?
Yes, I have. And I have, it's a great practice. So little microaggressions, like somebody cuts in line and I go, excuse me, I was here first. The line starts back there, but they whoosh, go into this checkout. I'm talking about the self-checkout. And if you practice that, it does become kind of like a normal thing you just do. And you can get little faces. I don't even listen. I don't even look at the little faces. It's like, well, there has to be some kind of like ordinance. I don't know. Is ordinance
I'm going to guess that the person who cut in front of you, men have microaggressions for women. It was a man.
It was a man.
Men have microaggressions for women. It's like when you sit down on a place, let's say it be a train or a bus or whatever else, and he purposefully spreads his legs to put you in a corner. And you're like, pray for the purge, because you would stab that man, right? Right? I'm like, and I just said that on Instagram or wherever it is we're streaming. Yeah. Right? You would be like, you would hurt that man. You would absolutely hurt that man. Why are you spreading your legs? There is ample space for both of us to sit down.
Yeah.
In Asian countries, that's not a thing. But in North American countries, the man spread is what they call it, to keep women in a corner. So they would go ahead because I'm more important than you, right? Mm-hmm. And that's a microaggression. And if you are a man and you're listening to this, stop that nonsense.
Yeah, don't, women too. I mean, I'm sure they have it. We have it. Of course, we do. Everybody has this microaggression. It's just become aware of it, right?
Uh-huh.
So where was I going to go with that? Oh, I had a microaggression, but I didn't think of it till after. And I was talking to my husband, I'm like, he just did a microaggression on you. It was the weird, I can't even go into it because I don't, want to do that, but it was like, that was a microaggression. It seemed really out of place. And at the time, it triggered my husband into saying something against someone else. And it was like, I'm thinking, why did you just do that? Like afterwards, like after. And I'm like, that was a microaggression he just said to you. So I don't know. Do you see where I'm going with this? Like they can be so subtle that you don't even realize it.
Yeah, but the inside of you realizes it's like when
Yeah.
it's like you say something, Amy, you make a point, and I say, "Sure, honey." That's a
Yes.
microaggression. Like, sure, honey, really, seriously, that's a microaggression. I believe that these things are social irritants. It winds people up because it's dismissive. If I tell Amy makes a suggestion to me, I said, "Sure, honey," it's dismissive. By
It
that
is
same token,
dismissive. So why not say what you don't like about what I just said? This is what gets me kind of like riled up, because it's like, why can't you just, and people get this feeling about me as I've grown spiritually and all that, and as I've known myself, now know thyself, right?
yes.
Okay. So I am more open and outspoken, and some people don't like that. It's like, you're so cold. You're so
Yeah,
cold.
because you're telling the truth and you're calling a spade a spade.
Yes, I'm calling a spade a spade. Now, this doesn't happen. I don't, call these people into my field a lot, but when I do, I'm ready. I'm
Now,
ready.
here's a microaggression that I'm usually exposed to on a daily basis. You go into a place, there are women who probably had negative experiences from either people who look like me, I'm a man, whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they give you something called a 9-2 smile. It's a
Yeah.
fake smile. Just don't smile at me at all. Leave me alone. Leave my general well-being alone. Right? It's that fake smile, and like, why would you do it? Right? It's a fake smile. I know it's a fake smile. I'm hoping that your face knows it's a fake smile. How about you just stay in your corner on the West Bank, right?
On the way over there. Keep
And then
going.
I stay in my corner and we have no interaction at all.
Yeah.
But why do you feel the need to do that? And so it's an irritant. It absolutely is. And I don't smile back nowadays because I have
Yeah.
reached the point in my life where I'm like, no, not even engaging in that.
So we need to kind of become aware of our own microaggressions, because we have to admit that, yes, we do have them. Yes?
No, I actually don't have microaggressions for people. I really
You
sat down and
don't.
thought about it. I
God.
don't. Because the truth of the matter is, if I don't like you, believe me, you're gonna know it. If
Oh,
I
that's
don't like you,
so
believe
funny.
me, you're gonna know it, because I'm not gonna talk. I'm just not going to talk to you. I would leave you alone. Okay? Leave you alone. The microaggressions come when there's an interaction. Okay? So if you are there, I am over there. Right? It's like the poles of a magnet. As soon as you turn it around, woof, I'm over there. I'm like if you turn it
Wow.
around, just fly over there.
Well,
Is that a
okay.
microaggression? No, I'm leaving you alone. I would rather just not deal with you than have to interact with you in an ingenuine way. Yeah?
All right. Well, then that is it. You came from a different culture. Maybe,
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
yeah, you did.
North American culture has been an education for me. If y'all don't
Yeah.
like each other, this is what I've found. And
Yeah.
this is me speaking the truth. So you guys can judge me in the comments below. Absolutely, I don't have a problem with that. This is what I've found. In North America, you may not like someone, but you're still going to interact with them. And y'all call it society. Where I come from, if you don't like someone, believe me, they know. If they don't like you, believe me, you absolutely know that that person does not like you. There's nothing subtle or hidden about it,
Oh,
which is the difference between the third world and developing nations. In North America,
yeah.
I have begun to realize that women don't like men and men don't like women. And it comes from this concept that women are like, men are so oppressive. They do the man spreading thing, and they only want women for a particular kind of interaction. And men thinking that women are only gold diggers and they're useless and they're only after their money. And I'm like, how on earth, if you live in that society, are you dating the opposite sex? You don't like them. You don't like them.
That's
They don't like.
interesting. Yeah. Why
Like,
do men marry women then if they don't like them? That's so true.
and why do women marry men if they
Marry
don't
men.
like them? Because what you think you found the one exception to the rule? Oh my God! Like, just
Interesting.
stay single. Just stay single if that's the case.
Yeah, that's the case. All right. Well, then can we go back to like the psychological points I have here, which you can speak about because it's the amygdala response.
Uh huh.
How our brains are wired to avoid certain threats, perceived threats.
Uh huh.
Okay, and conflict can trigger this. So that's the fear of conflict. A lot of people have fear of conflict. You know those people that are all nicey nice to everybody, and that's in the spiritual that's in the spiritual community where none of them want to say anything bad about something. There's something off about that. When someone is always nice.
Uh huh.
So what is that? They want to belong and they want to be liked.
Mm-hmm.
So if I give you a truth about something, then I'm jeopardizing that, right?
How do you figure?
Well, I'm jeopardizing that your perfect little, niceness.
I think that if I showed up to this broadcast looking disheveled, thinking, oh, today I'm just not going to bathe. I haven't bathed for 48 hours. And I showed up to this podcast. I would hope that somebody who cares about me would turn on the garden hose and hose me down. I would hope that that is the case. What I would not like is for somebody to tell me, oh, David, you smell like a bag of roses, just so that my feelings don't get hurt. Okay. So the
Yeah.
person who tells me, David, I'm turning on the garden hose, has to come to terms with the fact that I may not like what they have to say. But I would rather and respect people who do that than people who keep quiet when there is a problem. And you gotta respect people who run up to you. Your true friends are the ones
Yeah.
that are not going to care whether you're offended or not, because they know that the friendship is more important than whatever they have to tell you and your feelings getting hurt in the instant,
Yes.
because they
Okay.
care about your general well-being.
Okay. So what in the spiritual community, there is this thing that people say is it's their journey.
Oh my
That's their journey. You
God.
can't you can't you can't walk on their journey. Is this no, I'm really serious because I've probably have done this because I can't. Well, I can't. I mean,
Well,
that's
don't
their journey.
judge. Let's not judge them.
Yeah. So what is a
Mhm.
spade a spade? That's do people see it as like a judgment? Calling a spade a spade? Because you can't step on my journey. This is mine. So I guess you're right when you say I just leave them alone. I mean, that's a like you
No,
said.
no, no, no. If you know an individual, if someone on the streets who has a spiritual practice of sticking a banana in their air, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
you do you. Just
Yeah. Exactly.
Coconut oil has been invented. It'll go in so much easier if you right, right, right. My point is, if somebody you don't know is on the street and they're like sticking a banana in there and they say they see Nirvana when the banana goes in the air, I'm like, oh goddamn, I guess I'm gonna go home and try it, right? If it is that's my sister on the street
Yeah.
sticking a banana in her ear, I'm gonna say, hi, you look stupid. This is stupid.
Yeah, I
There's
mean
no
that's
basis for it. Whatever. I'm gonna say something. Now that's my opinion. Now she could say, well, it's my journey. And I'm like, absolutely. I'm just letting you know that your journey looks stupid. To me.
okay. So we could say, did you need to tell her that?
Yes.
On
Because
what
I'm good. Yes, Amy, I needed to tell her that because I'm going to guess that sticking bananas in your ear is not the most healthy practice that you could think to do. I'm just going to say, like, I don't
I
know.
just
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an ENT specialist, but I'm going to say that sticking a banana in your ear may be detrimental to your,
yeah. This is a quite a dilemma a little bit for me.
No, it's not a dilemma.
I
If
know
it
it's
is,
not for you.
if
I
it
know
is
it's not for you. I know it's not for you. But to me that's like a fine line.
a fine line between sticking a banana in your. Please
If your
explain.
sister,
I
well,
wanna
because it's your
understand.
sister. Well, are you saying because it's your sister and that's your family that's why you should say that? Or
I'm saying it's someone that you know. I'm hoping it's someone that you love. If that is the case and the person is doing something that is detrimental to their health, you do not sit back and say,
oh,
oh, it's their journey.
no,
Bananas
no,
away. You don't
no.
sit back and do that.
No, I know that. I
What
know
you
that
say
one. I
is,
know that.
you look stupid. It's dumb. You're going to hurt yourself. Give me the banana. Damn it. Okay. And then they're going to say something, but it's my journey. And I'm like, I'm telling mom.
I'm telling mom. I'm telling mom. Yes, no, I get that with the medical thing for sure. For sure.
Mhm.
You can't just say that's their journey.
There's a whole bunch of people in the spiritual community who keep quiet even when people are doing nonsense, whether it's the
Yeah.
religious community as well. Look at what
Religious.
happened to the Catholic priests. For
Yeah.
years, everybody knew this stuff was going on with the little boys, and they did not say a thing. They didn't
No.
say anything. Okay? And now they have the worst reputation. It's like a meme now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a Catholic priest. Okay. Hide the little children. This now a meme because people did not speak up when they needed to. And for
Yeah.
women refuse to call men out when they need to. I was in a restaurant, Amy, okay, with a friend of mine. A man comes into the restaurant. The restaurant is very crowded. He keeps backing up his chair with the assumption that the woman needs less space than he does. Okay?
Ah, yeah.
And she doesn't say anything because she doesn't want to cause a scene. I'm going to you guys who are listening to this, if you are women listening to this podcast and you have men that are doing that to you, cause a scene. Put
Yeah.
them in their place.
Yeah.
Absolutely put them in their place. Do it every time that they come with you with this aggression. And you
Yeah.
want to know why you do it? Because their mothers didn't teach them better. Your job is to teach them better.
Exactly.
If y'all kept doing it, a lot less women would be exposed to this nonsense. I am going to give you all permission to put them in their place.
Yes. And teach those girls the same thing though, too, right? Teach them not to be so
Yes,
soft.
docile.
Yeah.
Don't be
Yes.
docile.
Yeah.
Don't be docile. In this reality that we live in, your silence causes other women to have to experience what you experience. So don't put up with the nonsense. Do something about it. Tell him, hi, you're backing up your chair. Guess what's happening? I would like some space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this stuff needs to stop. Microaggressions are a thing everywhere. right? And all these little things. Sometimes you have to call a spade a spade. If a man does that, that man is an ass.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't even, and sometimes he knows he's being an ass, and sometimes they don't know, but
It's
you could teach them.
subconscious as well.
Yes.
This is another topic.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, people have these inbuilt responses. They don't examine them. And so it's like, and I might have them too, because obviously if it's subconscious, you don't know.
Exactly. That's what I was saying before, because we don't know. Subconsciously sometimes.
Yes, subconsciously you don't know. And here's the thing, is the willingness to change it. That's important.
Yeah. That's why you need the people to show you a spade is a spade, because the truth helps you open up and say,
Yeah.
oh my God, I didn't even realize that I was doing that. Thank you so much. Now, if you keep doing it, then it's a choice. Right?
You know, Amy, it's actually kind of funny when people tend to have an outlook where you believe that you are doing the right thing, or you are in the right frame of mind to say to someone, this is what the truth is, and they don't like you for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have to take that consequence, but you have spoken the truth. Be like Socrates. Don't be like, I don't know, John Doe down the street. If the world is round, say the world is round. Okay?
Okay. So I'm going to give you a thing from the Bible, a proverb. See if you know it, and then you can tell us what this is. So this is about true compassion versus enabling, because in here they're talking about the victims, right? Not the victims, sorry. But anyways, the proverb is iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Healthy relationships involve mutual sharpening, which can be uncomfortable, but leads to refinement, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're sharpening, you're getting sharper.
I'm familiar with the verse.
Okay, so tell us about what you learned from it, because I know you're a theologian. You know, right?
Yes, I'm a theologian, whatever. It doesn't matter. And I'm not ashamed to say it. Okay, so guys, that verse says that iron sharpens iron. The context of the verse is, in this life where you live, what you are called to do is to refine the energies that are within yourself and others. That's why we live in a society. You refine the energies between each other. What you don't do is try to sharpen iron with a dishcloth. You know, it just won't go well. It just won't. You don't try to sharpen iron with a dishcloth. You are called upon as a servant of God in this context. That's what the verse is alluding to.
Yeah.
Or a servant of the universe, if you're particularly spiritual, or a servant of Allah, or a servant of what, Krishna, Shiva. Doesn't really matter who you're a servant of, to become resolute in your faith, right? And speak the truth. So if you are a yoga practitioner, or a new age person, or you believe in spirituality and the universal primal creator, whatever else, you are called upon to be resolute in that faith. And when it is that you are called upon to tell the truth, you say the truth. And you don't care about popularity or not popularity, because then it changes who you are inside. You become resolute in what you believe in. Resolute is the sharpening process.
Yes.
You become that iron that is sharpened, and you sharpen others with your truth, because they have now a choice to accept the truth and become iron like you, or deny the truth and become the dishcloth. You know what I mean?
Yes. And it's with compassion and kindness. Like, say it with compassion and kindness. Comes from your heart,
Oh,
not harshness.
I
But
have a
sometimes
solution.
harshness. Sorry, but sometimes
Sometimes you need
harshness.
to be harsh. I have a
Yeah,
solution, and I do this often with
yeah,
people. Whenever I have to say something that is truth bearing to somebody, and I've done it to Amy many times, I'm like,
yeah.
Amy, love you
I
to
know.
death, but
I know. I'm sharpening. I'm sharpening iron to
I,
iron.
you always you start with, I love you to death, but I need to tell you this, okay? Right? Amy, look, Amy, we've been friends for a while, right?
Yeah,
There have been times when I've had to,
I
throw you
know.
off the cliff. No parachute.
Oh yes. And
This
I and
podcast is
I
one of
to
the.
you. And I to you.
This is true. This is true. There are times when we both had to throw each other off the cliff
Yeah,
into the deep water and to learn
I
how to
know.
swim. This is the sharpening process.
Yes. And I happen to like that process. And I don't know, maybe it's just that will within, that strength that I have that I didn't used to take it as a child. I didn't like it, but I grew to like, I get it. I get it now. I get it.
Guys,
I know. Can we? Yeah, this was great.
here's a simple question for you. Do you
Yeah.
trust somebody more that tells you the truth when you don't want to hear it, or somebody that remains silent or lies to you when you need to hear the truth and they
Yeah.
don't give it?
Yeah. Yeah. Because sometimes you're in that stuck mode or that freeze mode, right? Where you can't find the answer yet for yourself.
Yep.
You just need a little prodding to get it out. And so I think that David and I continue to speak the truth,
Unfortunately, we do.
hence unscripted, so you can see how our personalities come out.
Yep.
Yes, and the stories that we tell. I love it. I like this. This was a good one. Is there anything else you want to add? I'm just looking.
No, I would suggest that, guys, if you want to sharpen yourself, your spinal column,
Yeah.
build a spinal column, sharpen yourself as an instrument of truth in this world, learn to call a spade a
A
spade.
spade.
If you
Cut.
don't do it, every time you choose not to do it, you become weaker as a result of it. And you're going to end up in a situation where no one can trust anything that comes out of your mouth
Yeah,
because they
that's
know it's going to be the popular opinion as opposed to the good opinion or the right opinion.
yeah. Yeah, I love that. So call a spade a spade.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. So let's do some social cues or
Sure.
one. Okay. So here is somebody that wants to know there's a person at my gym, which you'll get. There's a person at my gym who brings a full size boombox and plays it loud, explicit music during their workouts, completely disregarding the gym's rules about headphones. The staff hasn't done anything. How can I handle this without starting a confrontation? Ooh, David, has this happened in your gym?
Yeah. The difference is that it hasn't happened in North America, but it happened in the Caribbean. And what happened was that everybody started a party. So, yeah, I suppose the society depends on the context. But everybody started a party in the gym, and, people stopped working out and people were dancing in
Oh.
the gym. Yeah, but it's a different society, so let's not go there. Um, I think the way to handle it, obviously, management needs to do something,
Yeah, but
right?
they're not.
And the way you get management to do something is by saying, I'm just going to go to the gym because you can't respect even your own rules. That's all you need to say to management.
Ah, okay. So don't go to the staff working at the counter. Go right to the owner or
Yes, and from the fact that the person is playing a boombox in a gym when the
yeah.
gym rules it tends to suggest that that person is not going to be amenable to you talking to them directly. So you have to go above them. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, do you go and say something to him or her? Yeah.
No, you don't.
Mm.
Because that's a special level of ignorance that a simple talking to is not going to.
You could bring muscle. You could bring the other muscles around you. Oh, what if you come in numbers
Come in
and talk?
numbers. You
Meaning
mean
like,
like with pitchforks and
no, four.
lanterns and stuff?
No.
We hate your music this much. No,
I mean, come in like 5 people. Come and talk to this person.
then that would be confrontational. And
Yeah,
depending
that
on
would.
the level of crazy that you're dealing with, the person might choose to escalate. You don't want to
Mhm.
escalate, so go to management in numbers. The same numbers, go to management instead, because they stand to lose 5 memberships as opposed to 1.
Yes. Okay. I like that. I like that. All right. Another one is my team has a mandatory daily morning check in on Zoom, and one colleague consistently joins but never turns on their camera or speaks, even when directly addressed. It feels disrespectful and awkward. How do I address this without seeming petty? So I'm guessing she's or he is the let's just say the moderator of the Zoom. My guess.
If you are the moderator of the Zoom, then you send a private message to that individual while you're on the Zoom,
Mhm.
asking the individual to turn on cameras. Or at the beginning of the meeting, you said, "New rules today. Everybody put their camera on. Let me show you how disrespectful this kind of thing is." Assuming that I
Yeah.
come here and my camera's off and I'm talking to you guys, and it's just disrespectful. It is.
Yeah. That's not.
Having said that, a lot of people turn off their cameras because they're in a particular on Zoom because they're in a particular state of undress, which may be not legal. Okay,
Oh, that could be.
but
That could be.
either which way, it's kind of like creepy when you have somebody on camera and so on. And if they do not respond and they're not contributing to your meeting, I believe Zoom has an eject function. So you set the house rules at the beginning. You say simply, everybody needs to turn on their camera. Anybody who doesn't turn on the camera will be extracted from the meeting expeditiously.
Well, because it's a private meeting, this isn't going out onto YouTube or anything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Versus some people with shows don't like the people calling in, don't like to turn their cameras on. So that maybe shouldn't really matter, I guess. I don't know. Unless you're the host.
True. I think that people tend to not want to be streamed to public use.
Yeah.
We
There may
seem
be a reason.
we seem to not have an issue with it.
No.
Myself and Amy, we don't. But honestly speaking, sometimes you want to just stay private.
Yeah.
I think.
And I get that. I get that one.
Hmm.
So that's cool. Well, I think that's good for now. What do you think?
Well, I think that in the process of calling a spade,
Yeah.
it's important that we keep in mind, why are you calling a spade a spade? You're calling a spade because you have decided that calling spades is the correct way to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we could start a trend.
Right, the
We could.
intestinal fortitude trend. I
Yeah.
do not care what I look. Here's the best thing to do. Think of how you would like to be remembered when you die. Okay?
Mm.
Because I can guarantee you at 100%, the people that simply comply and don't say anything, the only thing that's going to be on your gravestone is loving wife and mother, loving dad and husband. That's all going to be on your gravestone. What's not going to be on your gravestone is, here lies X, whatever your name is, right? He or she lived their lives uncompromisingly
Yeah.
and was always a beacon of truth in the darkness of deception.
Yes.
That's not going to be on a gravestone.
No, that won't be. That won't be.
Because I'm sure if you think about your relatives, the ones that you remember are the ones that were straight up from the hip. The
They
ones that you
were.
don't remember. You remember Aunt Billy at that Thanksgiving, right? The ones that were straight up. That's the ones that you remember. What you don't remember is the ones that just simply were like wallpaper.
Passive. Yeah, passive.
Don't be wallpaper.
No.
Wallpaper
No.
is not so cool.
I think, yeah, it just kind of makes you more, I don't know, the integrity of yourself, right? You
Thank
have to
you.
keep that.
Thank you, Amy.
Yeah.
Right? That word crops up. You have to live in integrity to a certain degree.
Yeah.
If you do not live in integrity, you are wallpaper.
Yeah. You're living a lie, actually.
To yourself, you don't matter.
Yeah. So you're living a lie. You're lying to yourself.
Yeah, and you're telling yourself when you don't live in integrity and call things as they are, that your opinion does not matter. That's what you're actually telling your higher mind and your soul.
Yes.
Your opinion doesn't matter. Stay silent. Stay tapped.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I really like this. This is like my mind is just like, ooh, lots of things can be changing for everybody.
Yep. Very
I
much.
love it.
I really hope that this broadcast touches somebody who's thinking, should I tell XYZ the case or should I tell this person? Yeah, the answer is yes. You should.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you should say it with a little bit of compassion. I love you, but. Okay?
Yeah.
Because remember, iron sharpens iron.
Iron. Yeah. I love that. I saw that and I'm like, I know David's going to love this one.
Oh, yes, I do. Thank you for
iron
that.
Sharpens iron. Okay. Anything else going on, David, you want to say?
We are opening our store. We're going to be doing merch for the spiritual community, the wellness community. So, yeah, we're going to keep you up to date on what's happening. And that store is going to have some very interesting merch, such as iron sharpens iron. That just give me an idea. Right.
Oh, yes.
We're going to have like hoodies. We're going to have mugs, sweaters, and stuff like that. And we are opening as well our software store where you can get software for your business, all different kinds of software. We have about 160 different kinds of software. So anything that your business needs, we have it in there. And just so that we're clear, you're not going to get the software cheaper anywhere else.
No. No.
You're not going to get the software cheaper anywhere else. This software was made by our team and myself. And what we're doing is we're putting software out there to stop people from getting exploited by big tech companies. You could say goodbye to big tech companies if you want to and stop paying those horrible monthly fees that suck out your overhead, right? So contact us at info@universalcitizentv.com. Amy, you can contact at amy@universalcitizentv.com. Or you can just simply join our community at, go ahead, Amy.
community.universalcitizentv.com. I had to look a little bit because
all right, so you guys, so a lot of exciting things happening. We're going to be putting merch out there for you guys to express yourselves without having to express yourself. All right, I think I'm going to make a no man spreading shirt for women because men be like that. Right?
Oh,
all right, I think I'm going to probably make one of those shirts for the women as well.
No man spreading. That could go so many different ways.
Yes, it could. And that's why that shirt is going to be popular.
I love it. Well, thank you guys for joining us again. And until next time, stay unscripted.
Stay unscripted and stay spady.
That's
not good. That's not good. If you're an animal, don't stay spady. All right?
All right.
Keep it unscripted, guys. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
In a world filled with noise, confusion, and endless information, finding your spiritual path shouldn't be overwhelming. Imagine having the tools to create powerful, meaningful spiritual assets right at your fingertips. Meet Spirit Pro, the revolutionary web app designed specifically for the spiritual community. Whether you are a priest, a yoga teacher, a wellness practitioner, or just someone seeking spiritual growth, Spirit Pro is here for you. With Spirit Pro, you can effortlessly design sermons, meditations, visualizations, revocations, and prayers tailored to any belief or religious path. No matter your spiritual background, Spirit Pro caters to everyone, helping you share wisdom and inspire others. Worried about fitting your unique beliefs? Spirit Pro allows you to isolate particular denominations within religions, ensuring that every output aligns with your spiritual vision. You're always in control. Not only that, Spirit Pro offers exclusive training webinars to maximize your experience. Get personalized guidance to harness the full potential of this incredible tool. And the best part? Signing up is completely free. With our innovative credit system, you can start creating right away without any financial burden. Plus, get a one-time opportunity to enhance your creations with our image generator for just $20. Join the community of spiritually minded individuals who trust Spirit Pro to enhance their journey. Click the link in the description below to sign up for free today. Don't let valuable insights slip away. Create, connect, and inspire with Spirit Pro. Your spiritual tools are one click away. Embrace the journey. Embrace Spirit Pro.